One of the programs that we're looking at the moment is the effect of field headlands on crop performance. Because if you think of it in Irish fields, relative to fields in Europe, our field size is quite small. So that means that proportionally the headlands take up a larger part of the field. So the performance of crops on headlands is hugely important. At the same time, machinery weight has increased, and as we know, machines do a lot of turning on headlands. So there's a risk there, both to soil structure and ultimately to crop yield. And that's one of the pieces of work that we're reporting on today. So what we did this work by survey. We have a student, Mark Ward, who went out to 25 different farms, 40 different sites on those farms, and looked at the soil structure on headlands, looked at the crop performance on headlands, and looked at indeed at input application on headlands. We're reporting today on the crop performance element. So what we found in this work, that if we divide the headlands into different zones and compare that with the main part of the field, we found that crops actually established quite well on headlands. There wasn't an issue really with crop performance. But as we monitored the growth during the year, depending on soil type, because different soil textures have different, heavier soils perform differently, we found that growth was impacted, to the point that when we got to the final yield, that about 90% of the sites had poorer yields on the headland than on the main field area, and in many cases, or in most cases, that yield difference was in the region of 20% or more. So there is an impact of headlands on crop performance. What can growers do about that? Well, there are different management systems you can do to try and improve that. You can kind of, stay off the headlands until conditions are good, but you can do things like ploughing the headlands last, and then doing your sowing operations and so on after that. But at least the awareness is there now, and we've quantified the effects of headlands.